Hey guys, welcome back. So today was another bit of a slow day for me in the overall markets, but we did get some opportunity. I'll talk about that in a second, but I kind of wanted to put a few things in perspective here because today I ended the day up, drumroll, $248. And typically, if I'm up $250, I'm like, today was a scratch. Today was pretty much a non-existent day. I like to be up like 5% at least based on my average position size, which is always swinging around that $10,000 mark. So I would like to be up at least $500 a day. And then I call it kind of a green day. But then I was like looking at my stats today for a second here. And this is my day trading small caps portfolio. And this is about a year into the unlimited account. I think in like June or so, we're going to hit the 2-year mark on this. Before that, we were doing the small account challenge, which was a different portfolio. And you guys could check that out in my profile. You can see all of my portfolios here. Okay, so going back, I was going through these stats and they're maybe a little, let me zoom in a little bit more because the main ones I actually want to talk about here, is I think somewhere up here. Yeah, right here. My average daily P&L is about $250. And when I saw that, I was like, that feels lower than I feel like it should. But think about this. Work days per year. What do we got here? There's 261 work days per year. And then I just did another search. There's actually 250 work days when you minus holidays and whatnot. Okay, so think about this. There's 250 work days per year, and on average, I'm making $250 a day when I day trade. These trade journal stats only count for days that I actually trade. And as you can see in my portfolio, which we'll talk about in a second, I don't trade weekends. And obviously I don't trade holidays. So this is only counting for those specific 250 days minus maybe a few days that I actually take off as well. I don't take a lot of days off, but maybe keep that in mind as well. But let's take this $250 I make per day, my average daily P&L, and times that by the 250 work days per year minus holidays. So let's go 250 times 250, and we get 62,500, which actually makes a lot of sense because, like I said, we're about a year and a half into this unlimited day trading account. We're at $99,000, almost $100,000 in this specific portfolio. So if we pretty much add another 30,000 on here, we're getting really, really close to this number right here. So kind of interesting. By putting that in perspective, my kind of small green day, my kind of wash feeling day feels actually pretty good. I just hit my overall average, and if I could just do this every single day and walk away, I'd be making $62,000+ a year day trading pretty much only an hour per day, which is pretty chill because that's all I did today, and that's all I really do most days. I do oftentimes watch the market a little bit longer, up to 3 hours max per day, but there's many of those times as well where I just trade 45 minutes and then I just walk away, which I feel like I need to do more often because looking at these stats, there's so many times I'm up 1,000, 2,000, sometimes even more than that, and then I just give back profits the rest of my 1 or 2 hours of trading because all of a sudden the front side's over and I just give back in the range or give back in the backside. So I think today was a good perspective day, and I felt like it was a really good thing to share with you guys. Now, for anyone that's been here for just even a few days, and most of you guys much longer, just looking at my calendar, my day trading portfolio, you guys know that January was a rough month for me. I think this might actually be my second red month ever. So it's a little bit of a frustrating month, but yesterday I put in $250 profit. Look at that, $251.70. Is that exactly the amount here? Just shy of my average. So today, another $250 day. I'll still be slightly red this month if I don't do any trading on Monday, which it is what it is. If I want to chase P&L and just start getting aggressive, maybe I will randomly go green, but there's a good chance I'll just go more red. So I try not to think about my overall P&L so much because I really should be thinking about the tickers that are right in front of me in the overall market and not my P&L. But I really felt like this was a really important thing to share with you guys because sometimes, you have one of those small red days or small green days or you're just feeling a little bit out of the sync. But then, when you look at the bigger picture, you realize, oh man, actually, today wasn't really that bad. If I just did today for the next 250 days, it would still be a pretty good year. And I think that's a really important thing to take away. And then, talking about zooming out as well. Let's just quickly zoom out here on my day trading. Okay, let's small caps unlimited portfolio, click apply, and let's hide the nominal. And you'll see here overall we're doing really well. We just, right now we're in one of those little bottom turns. We're having a little bit of a tough January, kind of getting spanked around a little bit, which is a bit stressful. But the market's slow right now, and that's just how it is. So in the bigger picture, everything's really looking good. We're consistent, and until the market really heats up again, taking those profits, taking those small green days is definitely a good way to go forward. So let's actually go ahead and look at what I traded today. I have an order on SOFI, but I didn't get my fill on it, so it's not really worth discussing. I was waiting for a break of 10.5. I had limit order, let's see, at 10.37, but I was ready to get more aggressive early on, but that never came to fruition. I just felt like SOFI and a lot of other swing trades were falling off a cliff right now. And for example, the SPY was having a nice triple/quadruple bottom. So I really like the general support here, and I felt like there was a good bounce incoming. So before we talk about the small cap, let me just talk about my coin trade, which is the ticker I'm up on the most today. Made $188 on that one, and I sold way too soon. But let me just show you guys what was happening on this ticker, and maybe the best thing to do is just show the 5-minute here. This ticker found big support yesterday right around like 169, but it broke that and it became new resistance, and then we were falling off a cliff down to this really, really critical next support level around 162. So when we were hitting that zone, guess what I was doing? I was accumulating here, waiting for that pop, and I was writing it in the Discord. So if we just go back to the 1 minute, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. I started accumulating here at this big support. I missed my full size right here, just missed it by a hair. I placed my limit order, and then boop, the stock went up, and it was crawling up. It was up like 1.2% or so, and then I closed it, took my profits. Yeah, obviously, in hindsight, I closed way too soon, but in this red, scary, sketchy market, everything just sells off, and these bounces like this 3% bounce on coin isn't like super common, so I'm not going to be holding that long. Maybe I could have waited for this candle. I feel like I could have waited that extra 30 seconds to see if this popped, but there's a good chance it just would have had a big red candle here, and then I would have actually done a second trade and then look for another bounce. That was actually my goal. So basically taking profits here, waiting for that second trade, and then selling on a move back to VWAP. I really didn't think we were going to get a move like this, no sir, but we did, and I'm going to remove, I think I even have a limit order open on this one as well, so I'm going to remove that limit order. So yeah, at the moment, I don't really see another trade on this one for me. And then we had IMPP. This ticker was actually really good. I just did not have super high expectations for small caps, although INDO, I made a whole video about this one yesterday, how it was really going to be pumping some action back into the small cap space, because when people see stuff like this, people get excited. This was a 200% rally. I didn't trade it at all because I just didn't even believe that what I was seeing. But my focus of the video yesterday was like, when people see stuff like this, they think, okay, the next ticker that starts popping up, heck, I'm going to start trading some of that. And that's actually what I did here myself. But let's actually go to the daily chart really quickly. IMPP, huge resistance around $2.25, $3, more resistance around $4 and $4.75, and then bigger resistance up here between $7 and $8. Those are like the main resistance levels that I mapped out. They're a little bit easier to see on the 4-hour, but I actually mapped it out on the daily. You can see these are all kind of significant pivot zones. I would probably argue that like $6 as well is a pivot zone worth watching, but on the daily it's not nearly as significant, so I didn't map that. Ultimately, the daily is always one of your more important zones. Well, okay, maybe it is somewhat important because we had an open here, so whatever, I'll map it, but now it just somehow feels like there's too many lines and it's a little overwhelming. But on the intraday, you don't really see the lines as much, and it helps you know when there's those big resistance zones. So it is very, very helpful for me personally. So let's see here, oil and gas industry, just like yesterday with INDO. No surprise there, 61 million shares outstanding and 156 million market cap. Definitely on the little bit of the higher end of the small caps that we're usually trading, but that's fine. I'm not even sure if it has a catalyst. It probably has some sort of catalyst, or it's just a pure sympathy play. I mean, that's oftentimes what happens when you just start seeing tickers in a certain industry start moving, random other tickers with no catalyst start moving. That's why I just don't focus so much on news, because I feel like it's easy to overthink it, trip over yourself, and ultimately, especially if it's like a biotech catalyst or something, it's hard to understand anyway. So it's better to trade the price action if you're a day trader, gap and go, momentum trader like myself. Obviously, if you're a fundamental trader or something else, this is like a total different concept. But for me, price action is the holy grail. So this is really where I want to put all my attention to. Okay, so let's go to the 1 minute on here, and you'll see on the 5 minute chart down here, pre-market, it wasn't going, there wasn't that much going on. We had some decent stair steppers. I mean, the percentages on them were insane, but the volume was like non-existent. So in this area, at the market open, we were up like 120% on this ticker, which is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. It was nice just seeing stuff like that. Anyway, let's zoom in here a little bit more. We had a move here to about 2.5, and then we were pulling back. And into this pullback, I started accumulating because we had good VWAP support, so I got this nice little dip trade. I chickened out though, and I was not able to hold into any of this move. I mean, if I just held this first move, it would have been like a 15% gain. If I sold into this wick, 24% gain. And then, hypothetically, if I held the whole thing, it would have been like a 50% move. Never going to happen, but I'm just, giving you context for what was possible on a hot ticker. And woo, I love seeing stuff like this because there's sometimes in a hotter market, we just have weeks where it's like every day there's a ticker like this and you could just clean up. So I'm just, I'm fantasizing. I'm like, one day we'll see that again. And I don't know, maybe it's going to be sooner than we think. Okay. So yeah, nice, double top here and then pulls back. This would have been a phenomenal trade right here. You can see even on the 5 minute, we have really good support coming in here. On the 1 minute, we have good support. So just going for this trade, looking for maybe a retest here, a double top or so, that could have resulted in you a 13% profit. I really don't think I would have held for this breakout, but that would have been a huge profit. So I left pretty much all the money on the table on IMPP. I mean, this was more or less a scratch trade. I entered here, I bought a little bit more here, and I took profits really, really quickly. It was pretty much a scratch trade. I didn't do any of the good trades on IMPP, and that's just because right now I'm like in a mindset that the whole market is trash, and it is pretty trash. So I don't really regret it in that regard at all. So let's see if we could just keep making some nice small profits and get back into the swing of things. I gotta definitely get some rust off of me, so that's a big focus for me as well right now. In terms of swing trades overall, really quickly here, I have been averaging back into some of these sizes. You guys can see here, I started buying on critical support zones. I've been talking about swings a lot lately, so I'm just gonna really quickly go through it. You can see there was a descending wedge here. These typically break to the upside, so I bought on the low of that wedge. XL, very small position on this one, kind of a fun little trade. This was only alert entry, so this is actually like my real size down here. I would be taking profits really, really quickly to like $2 or $2.20 or so. SBEA, SPAC with a quick flash here. This was kind of sketchy. And I'm not even seeing any news about that, so I have no idea what this was. Maybe somebody was just getting out, but then it quickly recovered, so that's good. Technically, it's a hammer. QS, similar situation, started buying back share size. Clove, started buying back some shares. Space, started buying back some shares. So I still feel like it's a little bit early, but I feel like there's a good chance for a bit of a pop here. I might be wrong, but I'm starting to reaccumulate some of my size. And talk about coin, for example, man, oh man, I think I would like to get more aggressive on coin because we've had such a big sell-off on coin, and I think that we're really, really coming towards a big bottom here. We just had a huge double bottom, and if we break this area with a low volume, I think I'm going to really size up around 150 because Coin is a really good company. They're working on so much. They want to be the AWS of blockchain, and I am very, very bullish on Coin, and it is sold off significantly. So right now I've just been day trading it a little bit around these big support zones. But like I said, I would probably like to accumulate coin as a swing trade as well. Well, guys, that's all from me today. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to drop a like on the way out. Consider subscribing if you're new. And like always, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.